I'm Aggie Mackenzie, the goddess of cleanliness. In these unprecedented times, when coronavirus is marching across the world, it's never been more important to keep our homes not just clean, but deep clean.
Many, many, many E. coli germs in here. Effectively, is fecal matter.
But even in the most well-kept homes, bugs and bacteria lurk everywhere, invisible to the human eye.
They're so happy. They're just breeding away all day long.
Wow, okay.
So I'm donning my rubber gloves and showing you how to deep clean your home, room by room. We'll tackle the bathroom.
Notorious for harbouring mould.
The kitchen.
That is all the grease that's being cut through.
The bedroom.
It's wet, dandruff, saliva, some earwax. Ends up inside the pillow.
And the living room.
There's more fecal matter on this remote than there is on your loo handle.
No, how is that possible?
I've enlisted the help of Professor of Microbiology, Val Edwards-Jones.
So this is just gross.
Who'll be swabbing all the germy hotspots around the house and revealing the horrors none of us can see. To deep clean your home, you need to know where to look for bugs and dirt
There's quite a bit of grot on here.
and how to get rid of them for good.
In need of a bit of a deep clean, I think.
Right now, Britain is on the alert. We're spending more time at home and we need to keep it safe and spotless. I'm in Reading visiting Victoria and David and their 3-year-old daughter, Ophelia. With their help, I'm going to show you how to deep clean your home.
Whenever you say, oh, I'm Victoria, and I say I'm David, people always say, oh, like the Beckhams.
They live in a very normal family house that they keep clean and tidy. But no matter how good a cleaner you think you are, all around your home there are germs hiding.
I'm a little bit concerned with what the outcome will be with germs, because obviously we are very clean people, but it's I don't know, it's just a bit nerve-wracking.
It is. I think it is what's beneath the surface that you just don't know that's there. And there's nothing worse than obviously bringing up a child in a house that is not looked after.
There's a lot of fun to Filth, so let's get cracking. Hello, hi, can I come in?
Come on in.
Nice to meet you.
To meet you.
Tell me, what's going on here then?
Well, obviously, we like to think we live in a clean household.
Yeah,
and-
looks
but
pretty
we're-
good to me.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, I think it's perfectly fine. So really, we're after your help to find out, is there anything here that shouldn't be here?
This house looks perfectly okay. It's socially clean. What we need to look at is under the surface, give it a really good deep clean and make sure that any bacteria or possible viruses that are lurking are eliminated.
Perfect, that sounds great. It's exactly what I wanted to hear.
In our quest to fight germs, I've called in Professor Val Edwards-Jones, a leading microbiologist who's dedicated her life to studying bugs and bacteria. She's been swabbing notorious germ hotspots around David and Victoria's home to send back to the lab for testing.
So I'm expecting to find normal skin organisms in the dust around the house. I may find in very high touch areas, I might find coliform bacteria, which you get from poo when you haven't washed your hands. You would hope in the average home that there are lots of different bugs because that helps us with our immunity. However, we don't want high numbers that can cause infection and spread disease.
I'm going to start my deep clean upstairs in the one room that's the epicentre of germs and bacteria in the house, the bathroom.
I think for me what I find challenging in the bathroom, and this might sound like silly, but for me it's like, how do you know when it's actually really clean? Like visually it can look clean, but how do you know actually when it is to the point of minimising the amount of germs that are there?
Before I get cracking, Our Lady of the Lab, Val, is doing some initial tests.
I'm going to look for the worst offender. You would imagine it's the toilet flush, wouldn't you? So I'm going to go for that.
Val's using a device known as a luminometer, which gives an on-the-spot reading of live bacteria.
So the answer is 275. The cut-off's 13 for food quality. So 275 indicates there's quite a lot of bacterial cells. So I think this would be a good place to swab, and then we can see what we grow in the lab.
Thankfully, we don't eat off our toilets, but for all of us, the bathroom can hide nasty bugs in less obvious places. So let's start with something easy.
Your lovely little bathroom. Oh, there's lots going on in here, isn't there? I'm looking first at Ophelia's toys. So, I'm just wondering, does she have any toys that are kind of squashy ones that hold water? Like, for instance,
she's got
this.
that rubber duck, yeah.
Ah, right. I don't know if you know this, but these are notorious for harbouring fungus.
Across the UK, pathogenic bacteria can be found in 80% of our rubber ducks.
The water gets in here. The heat and the humidity from the water just allows the bacteria to grow at an alarming rate.
So deep cleaning bathroom toys is really important, and it's easy to do. Just fill a plastic container with hot water and a bit of sterilising solution.
So how much of the solution do you need to put into the water?
Generally speaking, it's 1 capful per 5 litres of water. That's the kind of prescribed amount.
Next, take the toys, put them into the solution and soak.
Maybe turn them over so all sides are getting done. So what I do is just leave them here overnight.
Victoria and David keep their bathroom in good shape, but in other homes it can be a different story. For those of us who want to go the extra mile, a cleaning coil can help reach parts you never thought possible.
I'm going to put this down the plug hole and see what emerges.
Major contributors to the bacterial soup found in our U-bends are a build-up of hair, soap scum and dead skin.
All you do is pop the head down, twist the handle a few times, then take the head out and you will be amazed at all the gunk that comes out. It's pretty nasty, isn't it?
Once the gunk is gone, I've got a handy hint to go that little bit deeper.
Take some soda crystals. These are really cheap. You can get them from any supermarkets. Pour them down the plug hole, then take some clear vinegar, pour that over the top, and you'll see they're all reacting together already.
The vinegar and soda crystals create a fizzy mixture that cleans deep inside the pipes.
Chase it through with a kettle of boiling water, and that really does help to keep your pipes clear.
Back in Victoria's bathroom, I want to tackle the toilet, and for a truly deep clean, I'm taking it to another level.
See this little crevice in here that's more or less impossible to reach?
Yeah.
There's black matter along there.
Okay.
Get your steam cleaner right and aim it right in here, so you push it in and you'll see dirt starting to shift.
These chemical-free cleaners can be bought for as little as £25. They use high-temperature, pressurised steam to break down dirt and limescale.
Sometimes I've seen these where you get the steam cleaner and all the black comes shooting out, and it's really exciting, actually.
The steam can also kill up to 99.9% of bacteria.
Now it's nice and loose. I'm going to take this blade in this cloth, and it'll be really easy to shift. Just getting in here. You need something like this. So there we are, all done now. Nice and squeaky clean.
In the lab, Val's been growing cultures from the swabs she took in David and Victoria's bathroom. And there are some shocking results.
So let's have a look at the loo handle. It's the first thing that we touch after we've been to the toilet, so I'm expecting this to be gross, and yes, it is gross. There is quite a heavy growth here of E. coli, which you always find in the gut in faeces.
People often associate E. coli with our guts, and it can cause diarrhoea, but actually it can cause an infection almost anywhere. And in some children and newborn babies, it can cause meningitis. Now, the interesting thing about E. coli is how quickly it's able to duplicate itself. Within 7 hours, one cell can actually become 1 million cells, which is why it's so important to wash your hands after you've been to the toilet.
We all have germy loos, and steaming is a great solution.
Loo flush.
But if you don't have a steam cleaner, soak the flush in bleach for at least 10 minutes.
That'll sterilise it.
Perfect, thank you. It looks great.
Yeah.
No matter how clean you think your home is, the minute you step in from the outside world, germs will be spread. From light switches to door handles, banisters to child gates, your hands are one of the main ways germs are spread. In this time of heightened hygiene, what's the best way to keep your hands clean? Good old soap and water or hand sanitizer? Lab Lady Val is trying to find out. Lab technician Mike is using sanitizer and Val's on the soap and water.
So when you wash your hands, you should have running water, add your soap. You've got to concentrate on certain areas of your hands. So that's your palms of your hands, your fingers, your thumb, and in between your fingers. You should wash your hands for at least 20 seconds for it to be effective. Rinse your hands, and then obviously the next most important thing is to make sure they're well dried.
Once clean, they take a sample from their fingers and leave the Petri dishes to incubate overnight.
So this is the growth of the imprints of our fingers before I washed my hands. And these are after thorough hand washing. And you can see the organism numbers have very drastically reduced, probably by 100-fold. This is Mike's, and again you can see it's been radically reduced, the organism numbers on your hands.
In this test, the hand sanitizer removes slightly more bacteria than the soap. But with both methods, some germs have remained.
You will never sterilise your hands by hand washing. The whole purpose is to reduce numbers.
So, the buzzword is frequency. Regular cleaning is the way to keep bacteria levels down and minimise the spread of infection. For a lot of us, limescale in the bathroom is a real problem, and it can be a breeding ground for Legionella, the bug that causes Legionnaire's disease. But it's easy to shift from chrome surfaces by soaking paper towel in vinegar and wrapping around the tap.
Take a plastic bag, cover everything over. So I'm going to leave this for a few hours for the vinegar to cut through the lime scale, and when I come back, fingers crossed it'll flake away really easily.
Once it's gone, use a microfiber cloth for a smear-free finish. The bathroom's nearly done, but there's one final area that can be home to upward of 60 times more microbes than the average toilet seat. The shower curtain.
Now, shower curtains are notorious for harbouring mould and fungus and bacteria. Actually, I can tell that you wash your shower curtain.
Oh, yeah.
We may all think washing our shower curtains is enough, but Val's looking at things on a microscopic level.
The shower curtain is absolutely teeming with Pseudomonas. You can see there's a great big blob here. There are other organisms in there, but I can't differentiate what they are. Their growth is so heavy.
Pseudomonas, if it does get inside of our systems, it can cause very serious infections. Ear infections, skin infections, but again, meningitis. And Pseudomonas infections are typically very hard to treat, even with antibiotics.
What you do is you stick the ends in a bucket that's got a few caps of bleach in, warm water, swish it round, leave it overnight, and the next day you'll see all the mould will have gone.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know you could simply do that.
A smelly shower curtain, not good, is it?
No
No.
way.
Let's go.
Coming up, there's a shocker in the washing up bowl.
Swab's been taken off this, and it showed that there are many E. coli germs in here, which effectively is fecal matter.
I'll show you a brilliant way of keeping bacteria at bay.
It won't scratch your glass, but it will loosen all the dirt.
And Val's got her work cut out.
So that is 100 million bacterial cells.
I'm Maggie Mackenzie, Goddess of Cleanliness, and I'm showing you how to do a deep clean, room by room, because we are constantly spreading germs around our homes. I'm in Reading, helping David and Victoria.
I think it is what's beneath the surface that you just don't know that's there.
Before I visited them, microbiologist Professor Val took swabs from notorious germ hotspots around the house.
So I'm expecting to find coliform bacteria, which you get from poo when you haven't washed your hands.
So far, we've steamed, soaked and cleaned every nook and cranny in the bathroom.
All done now, nice and squeaky clean.
Now David and I are going to tackle the kitchen. It's the heart of a home and a hotbed for germs, so here's how we deep clean it.
Okay, so David, tell me how you generally do your washing up. If you do it, indeed.
No, we do. We split it. So we will stack the stuff in the sink, and then what we'll do is we have the hot water run in.
So you don't have to plug in the sink?
No.
Ah, okay, that sounds good, because a lot of people use the same washing up water for everything, for stacks and stacks of dishes. And what's happening in the end is you're washing up, cleaning your crockery in like a bacteria of soup. It's pointless. But there is one thing I need to alert you to. This washing up sponge looks perfectly clean to me. But did you know swab's been taken off this? And it showed that there are many, many, many E. coli germs in here, which effectively is fecal matter. It might be from outside, it might be from maybe someone being to the loo, doing a number 2 and not washing their hands completely, thoroughly and properly.
Okay.
Coming down and doing some washing up. And it's really frightening. And you wouldn't know it. How would you know it? The thing about bacteria is you can't see it, so how would you know it's there?
E. coli is found in the bowels of humans and animals. These common bacteria are an indicator of fecal matter. Poo to you and me.
Well, E. coli can sometimes be found in the kitchen, it can be found in the fridge. We often find it in the bathroom, we find it on door handles, we find it on chain pulls for the toilet, and we often find it on taps.
E. coli can cause serious food poisoning and infection if not kept under control. When I'm cleaning, I often use bleach, but also vinegar and lemon juice. Earlier in the lab, Professor Val mixed samples of these 3 cleaning products with E. coli to find out which is best at killing it.
So that is to give you an example of how many are put into the product. 100 million bacterial cells are put in.
The purpose of this test is also to find out just how effective the environmentally friendly alternatives to bleach are in killing bacteria.
And this is what happened in vinegar. It's killed all of them. This is what's happened in bleach. It's killed all of them. And actually, although there's a few organisms grown in lemon juice, it's done an amazing job.
Lemon juice and vinegar may take longer to kill the germs, but they are better for the environment.
Really simple tip. At the end of each day, before you go to bed, fill a bowl of hot water, a little bit of bleach, and pop the sponge in there, and that will kill all your bacteria. Simple.
Or you can, of course, use hot water with vinegar or lemon juice.
People think that the bathroom is going to be the dirtiest room in the house, but that's not actually the case. So many studies have proven that, in fact, it's the kitchen. You know, because you're not defecating in the kitchen, you're just eating, it's not paid so much attention, and it's ridiculous because it's so important because we're eating. Anything that's on our hands goes into our mouth and it can make you ill.
At the heart of every kitchen is the oven. But because germs don't take days off, it needs deep cleaning regularly.
So just looking at your hob, looks great actually, looks really good. Looking up here, put your finger on there. What's it feel like?
It's like sticky, sort of, a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit sticky, isn't it? Do you ever take a cloth across the top?
Every now and again, but you
Totally.
obviously generally will focus a lot more on the stove and the ceramics here and also
Actually that's nice and clean looking.
Inside of the oven.
Yeah.
Probably less so than here.
So I've got some hot soapy water here, and I've also got a microfiber cloth. You look like you've got bigger muscles than me, so I think I'd like you to start in that corner and just rub it hard. Can you feel the resistance against the cloth?
Hard.
That is all the grease that's being cut through.
I'm also surprised how much was there.
A build-up of grease can turn the hood into a bacteria breeding ground, so a deep clean is essential. And it's not just dirt and germs you have to worry about. If enough grime gathers, you might attract bugs and critters to feed on the sludge.
If you were using a normal, non-microfiber cloth, it would never be getting down into that dirt in the same way.
Whilst David and Victoria's oven is pretty clean, in other houses some are a real health hazard.
Let's have a look in this oven and see what the racks are like. Ooh, in need of a bit of a deep clean, I think. All you need is some sandpaper and take it up and down the greasy rungs, and it's like magic. The grease disappears straight away.
Any food leftovers or grease inside your oven will burn when you switch it on, producing harmful smoke containing gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide and carbon monoxide, all dangers to our health. And the same applies to a filthy oven door, which can be deep cleaned with a DIY scraper.
There are some bacteria that are not good for us, and if they get inside of our system, be it our skin, our lungs, our waterworks or bowels, they can divide very rapidly, release toxins and make us feel very unwell.
To fight germs, you need the right warriors. These are some of the best. Microfiber mops. This mopping mogul cuts through caked-on dirt like no other, and its washable pad means you can keep it clean. Pumice. This little trooper, when wet, is tough enough to shift stubborn stains on enamel, yet soft enough to leave them scratch-free. And clear vinegar. Vinegar is a deep clean hero of mine, a natural disperser of all types of dirt and great for attacking fungus and grease.
Okay, wow, this is a well-stocked fridge.
We do like food in this
I
house.
can see that. Looks pretty good to me, pretty clean, nothing awful going on here. How often do you reckon the fridge gets a really deep clean?
So we'd try and do it once a week, at least.
Take everything out?
No, so what we normally do is, because we shop like once a week, do like a proper shop. When the fridge starts to get a little bit bare, that's when we start to take the stuff out.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'll just do like an ad hoc, so as we go, if we see a spillage, we pull the shelf out, hot water and soapy water, dry it off, and then put it back in.
Even though it's cold and might seem hygienic, the fridge is one of the germiest appliances in the kitchen. From the meat and veg compartments to even the insulating seal around the door, these areas can be teeming with bacteria if not regularly cleaned.
Let's take this over to the sink.
And if you really want to dig out the dirt, you need to get into the grooves, and a simple toothbrush will do the job.
Down here, where the metal meets the glass, it's really good for getting anything out of there. Toothbrushes are also brilliant for cleaning grouting between tiles. You know when the grouting goes a bit grey or pink and it gets a bit grotty? Well, all you do is you get some bleach in a little bowl, dip the toothbrush in and just take it along grouting and it gets white immediately. It's very satisfying.
When do you clean it? There's always food in it. So do I have to wait till there's no food and about to do shopping? In which case my priority is shopping and then unloading the shopping. When are we supposed to clean a fridge?
Other germ magnets in the kitchen include knife blocks, blenders, bins, and the notorious offender, the chopping board. If you don't deep clean this, you can get salmonella poisoning, which can also be found in a dirty fridge.
It's a really good idea to give your fridge a deep clean, say once a month. Take everything out. Because if there are food organisms in the fridge, they can grow to high numbers, even at a low temperature. So it's always good to be on the safe side.
Coming up, I'll show you my magic way to get tough on the scuff.
It does get rid of scuff marks very effectively.
Professor Val reveals how our mobile phones are teeming petri dishes. And Pillow Talk has never been so dirty.
Sweat, dandruff, maybe some saliva. All this ends up inside the pillow.
It's never been more important to fight germs and bacteria. I'm in Reading with David and Victoria to show how we can all do a deep clean.
So I think we are pretty on the ball. I don't know, what do you think, Ben?
I think it's as clean as it can be with a 3-year-old in the house and 2 full-time working adults.
Yeah, good point.
Like a lot of households across Britain, theirs looks lovely and clean to the naked eye. But with all of us being concerned about germs, viruses and bacteria, we've been scrubbing, steaming and wiping hidden nooks and crannies. The next room I'm heading into is where we spend, on average, a third of our lives.
Ooh, so this is your bedroom. It's remarkably uncluttered.
Yeah, you can thank Victoria more for that than me.
It should be a haven of calm and cleanliness. But between these 4 walls lurks the stuff of nightmares. One of the dirtiest offenders is right here on the bed. So I need a little pillow talk with David.
Every night, as you lay that beautiful head of yours on this pillow and you fall asleep, all the moisture from your head is coming out of there onto the pillow. So we're talking sweat, dandruff, maybe some saliva, maybe some earwax, who knows? So all this ends up inside the pillow and obviously it needs to be washed. And I recommend washing your pillows at least twice a year.
But that's just scratching the surface. Dig a little deeper and David will discover it's not just Victoria he's sharing his bed with.
Every single bed has millions of dust mites. You can't see them, but believe me, they exist.
There's up to 10 million dust mites crawling around a typical used mattress. Feeding and breeding on dead skin cells, each microscopic mite produces around 20 waste droppings a day, causing all sorts of allergic reactions. Itchy red eyes to runny noses and coughs, dust mites are also a major cause of asthma attacks. So deep clean them away by regularly changing the bedding and vacuuming the mattress. And there's another way to cut back on those critters.
Do you make your bed up every day?
Generally, before we've left the house, the beds are always made, including Ophelia's room too.
Right. It's actually healthier not to make your bed up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you think why that might be?
Let air get to it, maybe?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because dust mites love humidity, warmth, and so if you pull the duvet cover over, they're so happy. They're just breeding away all day long.
Wow, okay.
So much better to pull the covers back and just let all the moisture evaporate and cool down, and dust mites don't have so much breeding capacity.
I think it's one of those things, naturally, you would never think that, because obviously putting your duvet cover down just makes everything look a lot neater, whereas obviously having it out sort of indicates you're not that tidy.
Deep cleaning is all about getting into the most unexpected places.
Washing walls is part of a deep clean. Now, obviously, if this was wallpaper, you wouldn't be taking water to it. But as it's emulsion, then I've got a really good tip here. This is made of melamine foam. And although it's really soft, it's very abrasive, so you have to be quite careful when you use it on a painted wall. But it does get rid of scuff marks very effectively. This wall will be dry in a few minutes.
Back with David in the bedroom, the dust mites aren't just wreaking havoc on his bed.
Dust mites, they land down underneath the bed and they just sit in all that dust under the bed. And that dust, of course, is mainly made up of skin cells, which isn't such a nice thought, is it really? So you want to get rid of them anyway.
So to give the bedroom a deep clean, pull back that bed and furniture and get vacuuming. Dirty bedding has been found to have up to 39 times more bacteria than your pet food bowl. But there's one type of bacteria found all over the home that can cause nasty skin irritations and even blood poisoning: Staphylococcus.
We find it a lot in dust, and we find it a lot on window surfaces, etc., because it originates from the skin.
Usually it does no harm whatsoever, but if you were to get a break in your skin, it could get inside there, decide to start duplicating, and a single cell can duplicate itself every 30 minutes. So that's really quick, and it can start common skin infections, it can cause lung infections, urinary tract infections, and in some people it can even cause meningitis.
Back with David and Reading, we're onto the bedroom wardrobe.
Right, let's get stuck into these wardrobe mirrors. So they're a bit streaky. I can see that actually you've been cleaning, haven't you? But actually there's some streaks there, aren't there?
Yeah.
So what do you normally clean with?
Soapy water,
Yeah.
and then once that's dried off, you would have a bit of a shine to the glass.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
Don't need any of that stuff.
Okay.
This is a microfiber cloth in plain mortar. Can you just wipe down the glass with it? The way the microfiber cloth works is that it's positively charged and dirt and dust is negatively charged. So what happens is the cloth works as a magnet for the dust and dirt. It just can't help but just cling to it. It's fantastic. And all you need is plain water. You don't need any fancy products.
While David's tackling the wardrobe, for a deep clean, I recommend looking at the top of every cupboard in the house.
You might be horrified at what you see.
Kitchen cupboards are the worst offenders.
Chances are there'll be lots of grease and dust sticking to that grease, and it's really hard to clean.
But once you've rubbed it down, there's a simple way to keep the grime at bay with my newspaper trick.
Just involves a few old newspapers, and you just stick them on top of the cupboard, and after a while, you replace them. Easy as.
Do this on the cupboards in every room and you'll never have to scrub their tops again. It can be easy cleaning crud when it stares you in the face. But what about the slimy spots that slip our mind? These are my top 3 dirtiest places we sometimes forget to clean. We regularly change the bin liners in our kitchen, but how often do we clean the bin? Dirtier than a teenager's language, it can be a breeding ground for germs like E. coli and listeria. So soak up that scum and wash its mouth out with some hot soapy water. The detergent compartment of a washing machine can be a drawer full of mould spores. So reach for the bleach, brush off that slush, and you'll spin cycle it all away. It's a myth that nuking will kill off salmonella. It loves nothing more than to breed and feed on a microwave splattered leftovers. So make it a meal for one and not a banquet for the bugs by wiping up that mess.
That's really clean.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. This is a great system for cleaning windows, no matter how dirty they are. You don't need any products. Just wash them, rinse and buff dry with this type of cloth.
No, that's awesome advice. Thank you for that.
Coming up, I'll tell you where the biggest germ magnets are all around the house.
This is just gross.
We get to grips with a sofa deep clean.
And all these crumbs get down the side. And before you know where you are, you've got a family of mice.
And the remote control, one of the worst offenders when it comes to germs.
Ah, there's more fecal matter on this remote than there is on your loo handle.
No.
I'm in Reading showing how we can deep clean our homes, top to bottom. Like many of us, David and Victoria are concerned that their home may look clean, but in reality it's concealing unseen nasties like bacteria and viruses. So I've been showing them the best way to clean, steam and scrub their home throughout. The final room that needs my attention is the hub of David and Victoria's home, the living room. Earlier, Professor Val took swabs from this room to find out just how clean it is. And there's one thing in here that's really pushed her buttons.
Now, Victoria, there's some things I need to talk to you about. Okay. Now, who's in charge of the remote control?
All of us.
All of you, including little one? Okay. Well, I need to tell you that we took a swab of your remote control and there's more fecal matter on this remote than there is on your loo handle.
No, how is that possible?
Do you know what? You're not alone, I can assure you in this. This is really, really common.
Okay.
Oh my God. So this is just gross. We've got really high numbers here of E. coli, coliform bacteria, and also Pseudomonas. So it's almost like having feces smeared across the remote control. This is shocking, and it's actually worse than the loo handle.
You wouldn't think it.
No,
it looks
not
gleaming.
at all.
You can see it shiny, can't you?
Yeah.
Yet,
Wow.
it's hoaching.
Okay.
So, the way to clean it is I've got a barely damp microfiber cloth here, and you just go over it, give it a really good... I do this probably every day, possibly
wow.
every day, and you can be reassured that it's nice and clean afterwards. So, what do you think?
It was really a bit shocking to know that, but like I said, I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure most houses have the same issue and they just don't know it.
You're absolutely right. It's just like a sort of wake-up call, really, to
Yeah.
think, actually, the thing about bacteria is you can't see it, so you don't know it's there. And until you're actually aware of it, you think you don't need to do anything about
Yeah.
it. And now you know how to get rid of
Yes.
it. It's easy, isn't it?
But the remote control isn't your home's only secret germ magnet. Nothing spells dirty more than QWERTY. With all their nooks and crannies, keyboards harbour more germs than our toilet seats. So tip it upside down to remove the debris and use rubbing alcohol to control, delete the dirt. With all the family fingers ding-donging that doorbell, it's one of the most germ-laden parts of your home. So ring the changes by giving it a good wipe down every night. Brushers of the world, beware. A recent study found your average toothbrush contained around 10 million germs. Hardly surprising, as poo bugs can travel up to 6 feet. So self-isolate your brush and flush with the loo seat down. And slam the door shut on spreading germs by cleaning your door handles. But one of the worst offenders is our trusty mobile phone.
If you don't clean your mobile phone very often, you're going to have lots and lots of germs on this, on the front and the back. So it is advisable to clean it at least once a week, if not once a day. So I've got one here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to swab it, and I'm going to put the swab in this machine and give us an instant answer.
Val is taking a swab, which will measure the amount of bacteria living on the phone. The higher the number, the more bacteria.
And then I put it in my machine.
The average mobile phone is teeming with bugs and is 7 times dirtier than a toilet seat.
Anything over 13 indicates that it's got contamination. Oh no, it's 68.
68 is high, but numbers can run into the hundreds. So effective cleaning is really important if you want to reduce the chance of spreading germs.
What I've got here is some wipes for your phone, which are quite freely available. And it'd be interesting to see if once I wipe the front of this phone, if we see a reduction and we can get it clean. Okay, so I'm just going to swab it again. And this is where we hope and pray it's gone. Nothing. So something as simple as just cleaning the screen and cleaning your mobile phone can eliminate something that could cause you a problem.
Back in Victoria's living room, there's more deep cleaning to be done.
This is a beautiful sofa. Is it real leather?
Yes, of course, yes.
Wow.
Sofas might be the centrepiece of a living room, but a recent study found the arms contain, on average, 12 times more bacteria than a loo seat. So don't forget to deep clean the couch.
How do you clean it at the moment?
With a gentle cloth, and I've got the leather cream cleaner materials to do.
Do you get much dirt coming off
Not really, no.
And do you have to go into those little pockets?
Yes, there's a little annoying part. So sometimes I can get the vacuum cleaner and try and do that, but it's definitely hard to get into those, those buttoned backs.
Is the sofa just for lounging on, or do you ever eat your supper on it?
Just for sitting on, watch TV for like an hour in the evening, but now and then I feel I will eat a snack on there.
What about you and David?
Not really, no. Unless it's popcorn and a good movie, otherwise, no.
You eat your dinner at the table?
Yes, yeah.
OK, all right then. Do you mind if we just remove the cushions?
Sure, go ahead.
If you have a sofa, it's really good to take all the cushions off the sofa. Number one, you usually come across quite a lot of money, which is great, it's a bonus. But also, there's so much grot down there, particularly if people are eating sitting on the sofa. That's a no-no. And all these crumbs get down the side. And before you know where you are, you've got a family of mice making a nest down the side. That's not good, is it?
While I help to decrumb the couch, over at the lab, the results of Val's sofa swab are in.
So we found a lot of organisms here in this sofa crack. If someone had eczema or something, it could cause a problem to them. And sofas can be a bit of a pain to clean, but perhaps just think about that when you're hoovering or you're brushing. And perhaps occasionally wash your sofa cushions so that you can remove the dead skin cells and these skin organisms that reside in the sofa.
With the sofa cracks safely sanitised, the couch is sitting pretty.
It looks great.
Yeah, it's good.
Across Great Britain, our houses are full of hidden horrors. Lurking within the grease, grime and grunge are organisms we can't see. At a time when we Brits have never been so conscious of our health, it's vitally important we keep ourselves and our homes free of harmful germs. I've been showing David and Victoria just what it takes to keep a house deep clean. We've been scrubbing.
I'm surprised how much was there.
Steaming and vacuuming, upstairs and down. We found all sorts of bacteria from E. coli to Staphylococcus. But a little housework can go a long way.
Thank you so much for having me. How's it been for you two?
It's been really, really interesting. And the information about the remote control, that bacteria that could be hidden that you just can't see. So that was a real eye-opener.
But I think just understanding that there are things always lurking around, and it's really important to continue to stay on top of these things.
So we'll definitely be doing a deep clean a good few times a year from now on.
At a time like this, it's really important that we're all very vigilant about hygiene in the home. Cleaning is a necessity. Often it's not that much fun, but actually, you absolutely need to do it.
Now, more than ever, it's time to bite the bullet and deep clean our homes. Let's take on the germs together and return Great Britain to a clean and pleasant land.